All right, welcome back to your second flipped video from home. I am coming to you live from our fish tank classroom. Today we're going to do something that looks a little bit different than what we've done in math so far. You guys have been doing a really great job with your PBL that you've been working on. I'm really excited with all the work that you're doing. And so we're going to take a step forward and we're going to work this through even more. So let's get started with some addition with the added step of having to regroup. All right, so let's look at this problem. If you look here, and I were going to start with my addition, we all know how to add. Remember, we always start in our ones column and we add straight down, and then we go over to our tens column, and then finally we go to our hundreds. We always have to start over here in the ones though, and here's the reason why. So if I look and I'm ready to add my 9 plus 7, what does 9 plus 7 equal? It should be 16. So am I going to take 16 and write that down here? Let's keep going. Okay, so I have 16. Now let's do 5 plus 2. 5, 6, 7, right? So I have 7, and then I have 3 plus 1 should be 4, right? So is this number really going to be 4,716? No way. That's totally obscene. You should be thinking, I don't know what to do. So instead of having this this idea of I need to pull my hair out because there's no way that this can be correct, let's look at what this answer really should be. All right, so to be able to carry out this problem, I'm going to introduce you to some of our tools for learning today. So the first thing that we're going to have is called our unit. Okay, and these are going to just simply represent all of our ones that are in our ones column. So for example, if I look back here at this problem, these are going to be my 7 and my 9 because those are in my ones column. Next, I'm going to have my tens rods because they are the equivalent of 10 of my little units lined up. So you can see if I zoom in on these, they are exactly the same size, and I'll compare here in a second, but they're going to be exactly the same size as these little units that are in over here. So here you can see I've lined them up, and this is one of my tens rods, and then here's all of my ones. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that line up perfectly to make one of my tens rods. Remember that because that's going to be important here in just a minute. My next tool that I'm going to use during addition with regrouping is called a flat, and that's worth 100 because it is 10 tens rods lined up, or 100 units all put into one piece. So one of these is worth 100. Finally, I'm going to have something that would be 10 hundreds stacked on top of each other, and that's going to be called my cube. And what you can see is that it is 10 flats tall. So it's 10 groups of 100, which is going to be 1,000. So one of these cubes is worth 1,000 units. So these are the tools that we're going to use to help us with our addition with regrouping. So I'm going to carry this problem, 357 plus 129, over to the next slide, and we're going to look at how we go about solving that. So at this point, I am representing the numbers that we just had, 357 and 129, through my base 10 blocks. So I have my 350 with my 5 tens rods and my 7 ones, and then I have 129. Okay, so now I want to add those together. Now I've added them together, and what you'll notice is over here, I've taken my ones and I've stacked them up. Do I have enough that I could exchange these ones for maybe one of these tens rods? Do you think that that's possible? If you said yes, you're correct. I can take these 10 and I can just replace them to add another one of my tens rods right here. So I'm going to pretend like I have a tens rod. So if I wind up crossing out these ones that are here, they don't exist anymore because they've become this tens rod that's right here. I just moved them over. I traded them in for something more valuable, okay? How many ones do I have left over here? That's right, I have 6 that are left. So I have 6 ones. How many tens rods do I have now that are right here? If you said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you would be correct. And then how many how many flats do I have over here? That's right, I have 4. So my new answer is going to be 486 if I write those numbers right next to each other. All right, so let's look at how we might do that with the actual digits written out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my 7 plus 9, and we said earlier that that was 16. Do you remember that? Okay, that 16, I'm going to take 10 of those away, and I'm going to move them up here to be with this group that's right here, to be in my 10s, because I have 10 that I can move here. So I'm going to leave my 6 and put my 10 back up here. So now I can just add straight down now that I have my extra 10. So I have 1 plus 5 is going to be 6, great, plus 2 is going to be 8. So I can write my 8 number down here. Then I just add what's left. So I have a 3 and a 1, which equals 4. So did I wind up with the same answer between both of these places? Absolutely. All right, so now we're going to take away the base 10 blocks because we've seen how that works, and we're going to do just the algorithm or just the numbers written in standard form. So if I have 356 plus 268, I want to know, what does that equal? So if at this point you haven't written this problem down, now would be a great time to do that. So I've got 356 plus 268. What's the first thing I have to do? I always start in where? The ones column is what you should have said. So I'm always going to start here. I'm going to go ahead and let's add those pieces up. So I have what? I have 6 plus 8. What does that equal? It should be 14. Okay, so if I take away, so I have 14. I'm going to put that over here. If I take away 10, what do I have left? 4. So I'm going to leave the 4, and I'm going to take my 10 over here. I'm going to regroup it. That's the whole regrouping concept. So I've regrouped it now. Now I can go ahead and I can add my 5, my 6, and now I have one more 10 that I brought over from here. So I have to add all 3 of these together. So I have 5 plus 6, which is 11, plus this one up here, which is 12. Can I write 12 down here in the bottom? That's right, I can't. So what do you think I have to do? If you said that I need to regroup again, you would be absolutely right. So I'm going to take this 10 away from down here, and I'm going to move it up here. Okay? What do you think I can do now? If you said I can add all 3 of these now, you would have been correct. So I'm going to have my 3 plus my 2 plus my 1, which is going to be 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 should be 6. So my answer should be 624. All right, so now we've practiced regrouping with just the ones column being regrouped into the tens column, and we also practiced regrouping that tens column as well. This strategy works for any number. You could go on to the millions, the 100 millions, the trillions, the billions. You can go on with this, and it still is the same. You just take those 10 pieces and you regroup it over. So I appreciate you sticking it out and watching this episode. Here is your joke. It is, why do bananas have to put on sunscreen before they go to the beach? I am quite curious about that. I look forward to hearing your answers and to practicing this in class starting on Monday. So thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you in class.